Hey homesteading friends and friends of homesteaders, it's good to have you all here. Welcome back to our channel. It has been so hectic. It's summertime, and summertime is just one big long stream of run, 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 go, go, go when you're on a homestead, and especially if you have a big garden like we do, and animals and grandkids and a side business or two. We're just running nonstop and very busy, and I've got to fly. Nice. So anyway, that's why we haven't been updating recently. We, from before the sun comes up to a long time after the sun goes down, we are busy. We're running an egg stand this year with a little bit of produce in it, so that it has been a learning experience. We're learning about the laws and the regulations of what we can do here, and marketing and getting our neighbors interested, and we really appreciate those who are supporting us, but it's taken a little bit of extra time also getting everything set up and going that way. So there's always something. Always something. And before we get into the July challenge, I want to touch back on the June challenge because we really didn't update on it at all. And it was, if you remember, about if you have a first aid incident, how you can prepare for that. And so what we did was we spent a week. Take that back. It was actually me. He wasn't here, so it was just me this time. I spent a week doing everything that I would normally do with either a cane or I didn't use one of my arms one day and tried to do everything to see what I could and couldn't do if I had a disabling incident. And I can tell you that was very interesting, and I managed quite well actually when I was using the cane. And so sometimes I couldn't use the cane because of I needed my hand, and so I would use whatever tool I was using at the time. So I would use the hoe or the side of the rabbit hutches or the barrels that I was feeding out of to steady myself. I conscientiously did that just to see how hard it would be, and really the hardest thing that I had to do was watering. It was at the time when we had just planted everything, and so everything needed to be watered regularly and well. And trying to hold a water hose and a cane and with wet ground, that was a little bit challenging. But also you have to take into consideration that I don't do the heavy duty work, the building and the repairing and the moving large items. That's up to my husband. So things would be different if it was him that was disabled. I was able to lean on things, and it took longer, and sometimes things didn't get done as well as I would have liked them to, but everything was taken care of, and so I managed. And that's the goal, to see what you can manage and what you can't. So that was June. A whole week of being disabled. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I hope everyone has good health and good help. So let's get into July. My lighting's not good today. I hope you can see. So July. And it says, the well has been contaminated, and all your drinking water must be carried in or purified for a week. Wow. So July is a good month to focus on water for homesteading, because like I mentioned back in June when we had to water everything because it's just been planted, this month is really dry. We have not had a lot of rain in the last few weeks, and it's hot, and so the plants need water, but more importantly, the animals need water. We have to keep them alive. I mean, we could do without zucchini, but we don't want our animals dying from heat or not being watered. So that's something we always have to keep into consideration. And also, they've been talking about possibly having rolling blackouts for the electricity issues that everyone knows about. I'm not going to go into that, but our well is on electric, and if our power goes out, we don't have water. So all things to consider, and a very important topic for being prepared. So let's see, I'll cover a little bit of what we do already. So we have, like I've mentioned before, a camper van, and we keep our water containers in it. And I'll show you one of them I brought in. It looks like this. This is a 3-gallon jug. We have 3 of them. These are light, 3 gallons I can manage to carry on my own. So we also have 5-gallon buckets that we have a multitude of for a variety of reasons that we can carry water in. It's a little bit too heavy for me to do regularly, but they're there, and I don't have to fill them full. So I have more options besides just these, but these are really nice. They have lids. They've got a handle, and they're not too heavy for me to carry. So I do use these. I fill them up when there's a threat of a thunderstorm or an ice storm, and there's a pretty good chance we're going to lose our power. I go ahead and fill a couple of these up just to have on hand for situations like that. Now, to purify it would be a different different situation. This is our water in our well that we already know is good. But if something would happen to it, we would have to purify it, or we would have to travel to another location and get purified water and bring back. So this would be handy for that, because we have water filling stations in our nearest town, and friends and relatives in other towns that we could get water from. It wouldn't be ideal if traveling was not a manageable thing, whatever the situation is that causes the bacterial or contamination of the well. If it's something that's affected multiple people or affected roads or something like that, whatever the scenario is, would change how we would go about making sure that our water was safe to drink. Of course, we have been long-term campers and backpackers, so we know about how to boil water, and we are capable of doing that. But we also use water purification tablets and things like that. We're knowledgeable in it. We don't put it to practice in everyday life because we don't need to. And I've often wondered, what would we do if we had a long-term. We know how to shock our well, so it's not like we couldn't just fix it right away. But we need to know what we would do if we couldn't. So that's what this is about. We're going to put into practice a week of not being able to purify our well, and do different ways of having purified drinking water. So this is what we use to hold our water in. And also, let's go ahead and share this with you. This is what a handy little gadget I got on Amazon a couple of years ago. This goes into the water jug. This is just the charging cable. It doesn't have to stay on. And then you push the button and it pumps the water for you. This is really handy, and it's not very expensive. So if you don't have one and you're planning on using that kind of container for water storage, this is a pretty good deal. I really like these, so check those out on Amazon. Alright, so now that you know what our challenge is, let's get to the giveaway for this month. And we are giving away this package of Aqua Tabs, which are water purification tablets, the chlorine type, for 5 gallons of water at a time. And I'm trying to see how many are in here. There's 100 of them. So this would do 100 5-gallon buckets of water purification if for some reason you did not have purified water handy for, I mean, it wouldn't be for like a one-day use. Well, I'll take that back. It wouldn't be for a one-time use. It would be if you needed to purify 5 gallons at a time. So just leave a comment on this video. Tell me about your water situation, and the rules will be in the description of the video, but I'll draw a name. Let's see, today is the 5th, so the 13th. We'll choose a random comment on the 13th for the winner of the purification tablets. So good luck. See you later. Back to work.